little buns. It is Steph. Welcome to Nicole Cody's house.
Oh, hi.
From Soundly
yes.
Awake. Did
Welcome.
I say all that right?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I am still on my LA trip. Actually, I'm not anymore, but you're still getting videos from it. So I am here visiting, and we did a video on Soundly Awake, his channel, talking about the Canadian and US American accents and like comparing those, right? And our vocabularies and stuff. So here, I want to talk about cultural differences and like behavioral differences and things like that. So you can learn more about how different we really are.
I'm ready. I'm ready to see how much we should hate each other.
Yeah, we are going to start the next war.
Yeah, just
Us in this video, single-handedly. We do not need any politicians to be involved.
No. So pick a side, sis.
Right now, immediately. Which one will it be? Choose your fighter.
You know what
Pick
though?
your fighter.
I love bread too. So like, I feel like
Are you gonna,
we
like,
can
defect?
always come to an agreement because of bread. I feel it.
A trade agreement. You're gonna give us bread, and we're gonna not.
Oh no, you're gonna give us bread.
Oh.
Ooh, okay, so this maybe should have like belonged in my video, but I think it fits in your video too. What do you call so there's white bread, like at a restaurant.
And then this whole wheat.
Oh my God, you call it whole wheat, okay.
What do you call it?
Whole wheat.
Okay.
But I've
we
heard
also call it
Canadians say
brown bread.
bread.
We do say brown bread actually.
Yeah.
I only say whole wheat because it says whole wheat on the bag, but every time you go somewhere, they're like, do you want white or brown bread?
Yeah, at Buffer Festival last year.
Yeah.
I went I think it was like Fran's.
Yeah, that's my favorite diner.
Yeah, it's so good. But they're like
They
white
always
or
say
brown bread.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I go there all the time for breakfast, and that's what I was thinking of when oh my God, high five.
Yeah.
Fran's Diner is amazing.
Do you notice any differences when it comes to strangers being in the US versus in Canada?
So in Canada, you walk down the street in Toronto, so if it's like a suit or a businessman or something, they usually don't pay any mind, and they walk really slowly, and they're assholes because like they have nowhere to go because they have a salary, so they can just take their time and they'll still get paid.
Right.
Okay. But everybody else they walk fast because they're doing it out of being courteous. They're doing it because like I don't want to inconvenience anybody. You're taught to move quickly so that
no, not
it's okay.
that toy.
It's all right. It's adding to the ambiance.
Warden, hey, no. He's literally just
I don't
looking at
want
me
to.
like, well, but I'm not going to.
So I find that Canadians are always, at least I am, always like almost anxious about not being an inconvenience to other people. When I'm here, it feels very much like, it's not that people are like super selfish, it's just they don't really care. They just like, they're doing things for themselves, and that's fine. But like, do you feel like that's the case?
So
Do you
I
notice
could
that?
see, there are definitely some places like, this just randomly popped into my mind, but Colorado, like everyone is so friendly. When I went there for the first time, like everyone's saying like, hi, how are you?
Yeah, that's
like everywhere. And I'm like,
that's what I grew up around too.
But definitely I feel like in LA, I'm thinking of like drivers.
Yeah.
Like people driving, they just go where they want to go, and like they have no concern for other people around them.
No, it is like that in the city in Canada too.
Okay.
In Toronto, it's like that.
Do people use like their turning signals?
Yes.
Okay.
They do. For the most part,
wish
if they
people
don't,
used it
people
here.
get furious at them. You know what we do though is like we care about pedestrians in Canada. So like if somebody's
It's a good
going,
thing to care about.
and the pedestrians care about the cars because they'll do that little run thing. That little,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Like we apologize for crossing the street. It's a thing.
I wonder if my Canadian family had an influence on me, because the things that you're describing, I do.
All right.
Like I feel
you do have
pressure.
Canadian family, right?
Yeah, I feel pressure. Like even if the walking symbol, like it says I can walk, but there's a car trying to turn, I always try to like shimmy my way. Like,
I'm always
out
like,
of the
here,
way.
you go first. Yeah. Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Or I let them go first, or I do that. Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah.
And it's not, I'm not saying that like Americans are rude straight up, but like it's just, I think it's a different culture where people think they're not trained to think about other people's convenience, which is not necessarily a good thing to be like always worrying about other people's conveniences. You know what I mean? Because that's, you're not going to get anywhere doing that.
Yeah, I mean it could be less efficient.
Right, it totally
Yeah.
is. I'm sure it is. We mentioned very briefly Celsius and Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah.
And metric and imperial systems. I don't know what it is with the States and needing to have a different system because they think it's better.
We gotta be different.
Because like, no, but it's like, and I think being different is better for the most part, but like, your systems suck. They suck.
It's so true though. Like why don't we use
Metric.
Celsius and metric? Like I don't understand. Like they were formulated to make sense.
Yes, exactly. In inches to feet, it's like different numbers from foot to then, what is it, yards, and then yards to miles?
Fuck a yard.
All different numbers. What the fuck is a yard? But in metric, it's, 10 millimeters to a centimeter, 10 centimeters to a decimeter, 10 decimeters to a meter, 10 meters to a kilometer. No, wait, 100 meters. No, it's 1,000 meters. But either way, it's in multiples of 10. It's in multiples of 10. It makes sense. But the other system is just a mess. What's good, America?
Warden is also angry about the Imperial System.
Yeah, that's why he's doing that.
Just the, like, Imperial, just the word sounds bad.
Absolutely it does. And then also Fahrenheit. I like the big numbers because like if I say that, oh, it's 99 outside today, it sounds like nice and impressive.
True.
But also, again, like where is boiling and freezing on that list? It's like a random like 35 or something.
32.
Is that really it?
Yeah.
That's so silly. That's a random ass number. But with Celsius, 0 is freezing and around 100 is boiling. And here's, if you don't know how to convert, do you know how to convert?
It's like it's like 5/9 or something.
Oh no, it's much simpler.
Oh.
So you double, to go from Celsius to Fahrenheit, you double it and then you add 31.
Oh.
So 30 degrees Fahrenheit, or no, sorry.
That doesn't work for negative numbers though, right?
Oh God, I don't know.
I think negative 41 is the same in Celsius and Fahrenheit. Wait. Hey Siri, what is negative 41 Celsius in Fahrenheit?
Minus 41 degrees Celsius is minus 41.8 degrees
Okay, so it's almost
So it's like deadly. How does that work? Is 0 Fahrenheit also freezing?
No. It's just like...
What is the science? America, what are you doing?
Too hard.
Here's something interesting. Southern hospitality in the States. What's that about? Because that's a cultural thing, isn't it? But like, I don't know if it's really that hospitable.
Yeah. So obviously the South has different stereotypes about it. So they have the Southern hospitality, but it's also like known to be much more conservative and like, you know.
I think what it's trying to imply though is like the conservative and the Southern hospitality kind of goes together because it's like family hospitality. It's like, oh, they treat you like your family, but only if you're like them.
True.
So like, I don't really understand where they get off on that.
Or maybe like they're like nice to your face and then like not.
They're just taking your money.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Someone from the South is gonna have to let us know about that one.
Is there anything from Canada that you feel is like kind of disingenuous like that?
I don't think so. Like when I think of Canadians, like the stereotype of Canadians, I think of like polite and happy and like these are like, I don't know, the feelings that I get when I think of Canadians.
I don't feel like we do anything that's like, I mean, obviously, I'm not saying we're a perfect country and I'm not saying that racism is over in Canada because it's sure as hell not.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like we have that Bible Belt aspect. I don't know, it's very different. So different culture.
Yeah.
You know what else you guys have different a lot? That was words. Your fast food is like toxic. And our fast food is bad, but it's not dangerous.
I've noticed that because, okay, so I use that app called like MyFitnessPal to like track calories and whatevs. So like, you will type in like McDonald's burger or something, and there's one that says like Canada, and it's like less calories and like less
real
everything. I'm like, why does Canada get special treatment for their fast food?
We don't get special treatment. We have an FDA that cares about our health.
Why doesn't our FDA get, and our FDA definitely doesn't care about our health now in the Trump administration, so.
I had Subway a few times in LA because there's like 1,000 24-hour Subways here for some reason. Is there a joke about that? Because I've heard people talk about it like it's funny.
I don't partake.
Okay, in Canada, Subway's delicious and it is fresh.
I believe
it tastes like
that.
a fresh, crunchy, beautiful sandwich that you made in the kitchen. But here, it tastes like soggy, like an old like it just tastes old.
Yeah.
And like it tastes good, it satisfies me, but it does not taste healthy and I don't feel good after.
Yeah.
I feel like I ate McDonald's in Canada after I ate Subway. And if I eat McDonald's here, I can't leave the house.
Even the chicken at Subway, I remember like looking it up, it had like 1 million ingredients in it. I'm like, shouldn't it just have one?
Shouldn't it just be chicken? And maybe a preservative?
Yeah, like
I'm okay with a preservative.
Yeah, I'm okay with some preservatives.
Like,
you know.
I don't need a fresh butchered today chicken, but I need it to be chicken.
Like, I don't need like 90 ingredients within my chicken.
Right.
Like, I'm okay
that
with
implies
just
to me
the
that it's
symbol.
like products made to resemble chicken and taste like chicken.
Yeah.
And it's like, wouldn't it be easier just to make it out of chicken?
We love to be fooled here in the States.
I feel like it would be cheaper to just make it out of chicken.
That's what I feel like too.
Because like, how much effort do you go into mixing that fake meat?
And do they put like soy in all your shit in Canada? Like there's soy
I think
in
they did.
so much stuff
I think
here.
McDonald's when I was a kid was a lot of soy, but I don't think it is anymore because they make a point of saying, oh yeah, 100% beef, 100% chicken, whatever.
Okay.
Alcohol though, you can get in anywhere in the States and you only get ID. But in Canada, you have to go to a government-run establishment. And it's like,
That's interesting.
it's almost, I think it's better. It's harder to access. Like, if it's like 2 a.m. on a Saturday and you want alcohol, you don't have any, you just need to keep the party going, you can't go to a corner store 24 hours and get some beer.
Yeah.
You are fucked. Like, you can't get it. But in the States, you can get alcohol anytime, any day, anywhere. Which is interesting, and I'm surprised there's not more of a problem.
And that varies state by state too. Like,
oh, really?
In California, there's alcohol in the supermarket. A lot of states don't
and I was
have
like,
that.
I was freaked out. It was a whole aisle. I was like, oh.
Like, some will have like just wine and beer, but no liquor, or like some will have none at all.
Interesting.
I
think when I was in Boston, they didn't have hard liquor, but they had wine and beer.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Huh.
Is there any like differences between provinces?
Honestly, not that I'm aware of, because I think it's federal with alcohol regulation. But I haven't really been to other provinces either, so I don't know for sure. Also, here's something else about Canada and the States. It's like, our provinces are huge, and your states are so small.
Yeah.
And the culture difference between each state, I think, is pretty drastic.
Yeah.
And in Canada, I don't know if it's as drastic. But there's also entire provinces that are basically empty fields. Like, what's in Saskatchewan? What is there?
True.
I don't know. I don't even know what
Corn?
the capital is.
I
think it's
corn?
just hills. I'm pretty sure it's hills. Hills and hills and hills and farms and like towns. But I don't think there's a metropolis in Saskatchewan.
Saskatoon?
Is Saskatoon a city? I got 98 in geography in high school and then I forgot everything.
But yeah, like, even accent-wise.
Oh yeah.
There's not as many Canadian accents as there are American.
There's 3 major ones. 3 major Canadian accents, and that's that Quebec, like the French accent, and then there's like Newfoundland, which is more like kind of Irish sounding.
It sounds so Irish. The first time I heard it, I was so confused.
But it's different. It's very unique.
Yeah.
It has Irish-ish stuff, but it's very much like a sailor accent. That's what it's like. And then there's Canadian English, like sorry and ooh a boot and whatever, like I do. But I mean, there's little dialects here and there, but I feel like almost every state in the States has a different accent.
Yeah, and even like within the state, there's different accents.
Yeah. Because there's like, I feel like there's a California accent. There's definitely like a Jersey accent. There's definitely a Boston accent.
Yeah.
Definitely like a
Midwestern, like,
what's that,
or Minnesota.
The candle vlogger girl. Where's she from?
Wisconsin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, Appleton.
Yeah. Bed Bath and Beyond.
I love her.
This is totally a New York accent, like New York Italian. Oh my God, so many.
Yeah. There's like a southwestern accent.
There's like a lot. There's a lot of
so
accents.
many.
And there's 3 in
so
Canada.
many.
And I feel like that kind of also speaks to like this underlying how unified the country is. Because in Canada, there's definitely like a little bit of unrest, but it's not so stark as it is here. I feel like for the most part in Canada, every political party wants to tackle the same issues in a different way. But in the States, it's like so divided. And then there's all these different accents and everything. And Canada's just as much of a melting pot as the States is. And like, even in Toronto, I think it's one of the most multicultural cities in the world, period, the world. We don't have that same feeling of like, there's 100 different million, I don't know. Do you know what it's like?
Yeah. Like, Canada feels more unified than the United States.
They should just call it the States, because it really is not united.
Yeah.
And like, I don't really feel like it has to be.
I mean, California is trying to break free.
Honestly, I feel like either California should be its own country or it should become a part of Canada.
I'm ready. Listen.
Because I could immigrate here without a hassle.
What if like California, Oregon, and Washington,
just the West Coast,
and Alaska? We'll throw her in.
Honestly,
and Hawaii. We'll throw them in, and then we'll just like become the Canadian.
It's like a Canadian strip.
The United States of Canada.
They could just become Canadian provinces. Because then it connects the Canadian landmass. I honestly would love that. And it would fit in better here.
True.
It would be way better for you guys and for us because we'd have a warm place to go.
Hell yeah. I'm ready for it.
Come on. Make it happen. What about entertainment? I feel like for some reason there's so much emphasis put on like Hollywood in the States. But Canada actually has a lot of entertainment. Like in Vancouver, they do a lot of filming. In Toronto, they do so many movies. But I feel like there's a much more bigger culture of importance placed upon celebrities in the States.
That might be true. A weird thing about, I guess, like the US is that we like force our culture on the world.
Oh, totally.
And so like Canadians get a lot more US media than we get Canadian media.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
maybe it's just that US celebrities are important everywhere.
Yeah.
Because of the way that it's been projected. Yeah, because we do care about the Kardashians in Canada.
Yeah.
But we don't care as much about like...
You keep up with them?
I don't. I do not keep up with the Kardashians. But we don't really have our own version We
Yeah.
just got The Real Housewives of Toronto. That
Oh, really?
just happened. That just started.
I would watch that.
I haven't started, but I kind of want to watch it because I feel like they would just apologize after they got angry. It'd be really cute.
This is why I wanted to watch Real Housewives of New Jersey. Because
Yeah.
I'm like, well, this is my home. I
Exactly.
have to watch this.
I
Jersey
wanna-
Shore had to.
I need to see, like, my city
Yeah.
on TV.
And then so I can be like, well, I don't do that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know anyone that does that.
I guess they're fake. There is something very similar between Canada and the States that people don't really talk about, and that is the way that we've treated Indigenous people and Native American people.
Heck yeah.
Because we always look at the States, we're like, oh, you're terrible, you know, you fucked everything up. But Canada, I think, might honestly have been worse more recently. We had residential schools until the 60s,
Oh wow.
and they were still operating after that. And, like, do you guys, you had them here, do you know what they are?
No, I mean, okay, so is it the same in Canada where, like, the Canadian government pushed First Nations people onto, like, reservations? Or is it not work
That's
the same
different.
way? Okay.
That's different. So there are reservations in Canada too, where they have like it's supposed to be for their benefit. They're kind of trapped there based with other kind of circumstances.
Yeah,
that,
the
like,
borders
in terms
are forced.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. And also like there's like the cultural racism where they're not considered for jobs if their name is more Indigenous sounding or things like that. So they're pretty much forced to stay there because they can't always get the income to leave.
Yeah.
There's a lot of issues there. And then the way they deal with addiction and people don't have any understanding or sympathy or desire to help. And it's messy.
And then also, there's no representation in media.
No.
So, like,
They
what
like to use the
show
imagery.
do you know of?
They like to use the imagery. They like to use like totem poles and forests. And,
Yeah.
like, they like to use that imagery, but they don't like to put Indigenous actors in things.
Yeah.
And if there's like 2 Indigenous actors that get ever get any roles, and it's ridiculous. Like, because
Yeah.
there's so many. I went to school with near a reservation. There were a lot of talented Indigenous kids that went to school with me, and a lot of them were into drama and into the arts, and they were really good. They, they're going to school for the arts and stuff, but they didn't get the attention they deserved in high school, and it sucks.
Yeah.
There's also do you know what residential schools are or not? Besides
no, I
Okay,
don't
so
know.
residential schools, it was Native children were forced into the schools, like taken, like kidnapped, forced from their parents by the police or a similar structure thing. And forced to live in these schools where they were forced to speak English. They were not allowed to dress in like Indigenous garb, and like they were beaten if they spoke in their language. The culture was literally beaten out of them. It was forced out of them. And Christianity and other religions were kind of forced, like Catholicism. I don't know exactly which one, but it was forced on them. It was basically a huge, violent attempt to whitewash the shit.
Know that.
That's okay.
Probably like.
So
20
guys, it
seconds.
cut off. I was on a rant. I
Sorry.
wasn't looking. But basically, Canada sucks for that. And I really wish people knew that more. I think Canada and the States were very much the same with the genocide and with the oppression of Indigenous people. So sorry to get so dark, but I wanted to teach you something.
Yeah, I mean, it's real. Like,
It's important. It's important that you're aware
it
of
is.
these things because you're not taught it in school. We were taught about residential schools, but we were not taught about the realness of it.
yeah, it's like the history books. They're just like they just mention it. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, here's
This happened a little bit.
a paragraph.
Yeah.
On that.
It was literally maybe a chapter out of a thick book like this.
Yeah,
So, garbage.
that was me throwing out the garbage.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. Very polite of you. Very Canadian.
Welcome.
Well, I think, we should bring it around. Is there anything that you love about Canada that you don't see in the States?
Well,
End on a nicer
I
note.
would say Tim Hortons, but
Oh.
we recently got one like 5 minutes away from my parents' house in New
But
Jersey.
your American importance is gross because FDA.
Oh, no.
I got a chicken sandwich in the States and it was like shredded cardboard. In Canada, it's actual chunks of chicken breast with real cheese and stuff.
What
Y'all
is
have a
wrong
mess.
with us? Please,
I don't know.
Help us.
I don't know. You know what I like about the States is the variety of climates. Because you have like LA and then you
Yeah.
can go up to like Michigan and have some Canadian kind of weather. But you can have this. This is tropical and Mediterranean weather. This is beautiful.
And we can go to like Miami, which
And
is
Hawaii
like
is also
Caribbean.
Right, right. Oh my god. I think that's so cool. There's a lot more variety of, I don't know, temperatures.
True.
Right.
Topography.
I mean, it's not even like it's a bigger country. I think Canada might actually technically be larger, but it's
Yeah.
like there's so much in the territories in the north. It's just snow, so we don't really.
And like most of the people live like close to the
Oh, yeah.
U.S. border,
There's
right?
Yeah, that's where the densest population is. The further north you go, the way less people you see. So that's kind of weird. I think we also have like way less population in general.
Yeah, I think so too.
We have so much wildlife, which is actually kind of nice, and I want to explore it, but
Yeah.
I'm lazy. Don't forget to check out Nick's channel, Soundly Awake, and check out the video we did there, which again was comparing accents, right?
And, like,
Accents and vocabulary.
Vocab, yeah, like different words.
Ballers. Anything else you want to say before we sign out?
I mean, if you're coming from my channel, subscribe to Steph.
Oh yeah, and if you're coming to his channel, subscribe to it. Thank you.
Yes.
You gotta support each other.
Yes, queen.
Yes. Okay, love you so much. Bye.
Bye.
God bless. That was good.